Just let the room filter. Nothing like kicking off a Monday morning with a bit of a challenge. So I'm just going to set up a screen share so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Hopefully that one will do. Monday morning, I reset the computer last night, so I would start a fresh full set of memory, and it's despite that, still a few little pop-ups saying, "Hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that?" Excellent. So good morning, everyone. Welcome. This is day one of the something completely new that I'm running. It's called the LinkedIn Lead Challenge. I'm Alex Smith, your host for this journey. Thrilled to have you here. And we're going to embark on an exciting journey that's hopefully going to re-transform your lead generation strategy. We're looking to kind of boost what we're doing on LinkedIn and just give you a bit of motivation, a bit of a kick to get you started, get some conversations started. So yeah, let's dive into what we've got in store for you today for the session we've got today. So hopefully you've seen a bit of the agenda that we've posted out on these events. This is a 4-day event. We're going to be running it every morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 9 o'clock, 45 minutes to an hour. And it's very much about being an interactive session. So we'll do some intros. In fact, let's go to the intros now and see who we've got here. It gives everyone an opportunity just to introduce themselves. Say hello. That's who wants to kick us off. Anyone brave enough to say hello? Just a bit of what it is you're doing would be really helpful for everyone else.
I can do that if you want.
Thanks, Alex.
So you've probably just seen Rocco, who just dashed by to kick me out of the meeting. Obviously, he wants to go out. I'm Alex Refford. I work for a company called Euler. We are data analytics and change management consultants. I guess I've been working with Alex probably 6 months now in various guises. So I'm just interested to get another perspective. My lesson from doing this is the more you hear, the more you kind of figure out there's other things to be trying. So that's what I'm after.
Brilliant. Thanks, Alex. Good to see you again. And yeah, anyone else? We're not that scary.
I'll go next.
Thanks, Michelle.
I'm Michelle. I work at a company called Dynamic Builds Group, and we build houses, nurseries, schools, classrooms with modern methods of construction. So like SIPs, timber frame, ICF.
Excellent. And I know all about SIPs because I'm in one right now. This is my garden room at the back of the house, and it's a SIP construction. So,
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, does the job, and it's not blown away yet. So
that's
fantastic
good.
construction method. Just doing intros. Anyone else would like to introduce themselves? It's good because we're going to spend the next few days with each other, so I think it's really helpful just to get this bit nailed and feel comfortable with what you're sharing with others in the room.
I'm Emma. I'm from Winman ERP Software. I'm the sales and marketing assistant. We do all-in-one ERP solutions for manufacturing and distribution businesses. We focus on small to medium businesses as well.
Excellent. Thanks, Emma. Emmanuel, you're muted. There's a little mute button. Hit the microphone button, and then you'll be able to. Still can't hear you. Let me just go to ask to unmute. Does that pop up with anything now? sometimes if you just refresh your browser, if you notice you're getting issues, it'll boot you out and you'll come straight back in and it'll suddenly start working.
Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we loud and clear now. Yeah.
I'm Emmanuel. I work for a company called Open Trade. We're like a lending platform, building like products that make like real world, like we offer like real world high quality like financial assets on chain. So it's like a crypto, blockchain, RWAs. Yeah.
Excellent. Any other kind of crypto Bitcoin users out there today? Anyone invested in that? Oh, Tony. How are you finding things?
Good. We've been through the troughs and it's all good now. Yeah. You had to hold your nerve though.
Welcome, Tony. Do you want to just do a quick intro as well?
Okay. Well, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for the invite, Alex. I really appreciate it. My business is, I'm Tony Vintram. I've still been struggling with all this stuff. I'll put my name on in a minute. So we do 3-dimensional virtual tours. So it's virtual tours like you've all seen, but we add information in. So we can put embedded videos, links to websites, links to buy, that kind of stuff.
Excellent. Great to have you with us, Tony. And yeah, hopefully we can all help each other in this 4-day challenge. So I'm going to do a bit of set the stage, bit of an agenda. We're going to look at some of the keys today are all about kind of looking at your audience, really trying to hone in on who your audience is, your target market. Towards the end of the session, we do leverage a bit of ChatGPT. I've actually got some prompts that I want to share with you as well. That I've kind of are really, really helpful to help you with that process. But yeah, let's go back into the presentation. Does anyone else want to, who's not said hello yet, want to say hello? Sure. Oh, we've got Richard. Morning, Richard. Did you want a quick intro?
Yeah. Yes, just introduce myself. I am used to be an engineer, but I'm now wanting to pay that forward and help parents help their kids with STEM subjects, beginning with mathematics. And basically, I'd like to pay forward the advantage my father gave me from what seemed to be very little effort to him, but a massive value to me in terms of my progress through STEM education. So yeah, science, maths, technology, particularly science and maths end of it. Technology is probably more complicated than any of us, perhaps with the exception of an AI bot to understand.
Excellent. Thanks, Richard. Great. So we're going to just have a quick screen share and start a bit of a presentation, get you guys fired up, and hopefully you'll start to see the benefits of all the stuff we're going into in a moment. Screen share. Okay. So we're looking at this session is all about understanding the power of LinkedIn, LinkedIn's immense potential for lead generation. And today's focus is looking at maybe how we can start to identify who an ideal client might be for us. Once we kind of have understood that, the rest of it kind of flows from there. If you're kind of new to Leadif, new to kind of what we're about, I really recommend you joining the school community. It's a free community where there's lots of courses. All the previous masterclasses that we've run are available there, and you can really kind of learn the process, what we're going through in a bit more detail. So today is all about, we really want to get you guys on the tools, actually doing the stuff, and actually, coming away with some progress in terms of getting you further down the line with getting you hooked up, connected to potentially some new clients as a result of it. So really excited to see what's going to happen here. It is the first time that I've ever run a 4-day challenge. I've never done anything like this before. We normally just do a masterclass format. Yeah, it's a little bit more dynamic this one. LinkedIn, it is a very powerful platform, as you'll see. We'll go into some of the stats in a moment, but ideally it's a professionals platform. So we're connecting with other business professionals, building relationships fundamentally. That's what this is all about. It's not about kind of selling or going straight in with a sales message or a straight to the point, we want you to do this. At the heart of it, it's relationship building. And that's the way that you need to look at it and see it. You know, it's a long-term game, by no means. So we are generating leads. People are going to respond to you as those relationships are formed. But hopefully by the end of the session, you're going to have that clear understanding in terms of how to leverage LinkedIn to really define your target audience really effectively. So on the agenda today, we're looking at a bit of information in terms of LinkedIn and the power of it and why it's good for lead generation. We'll then move on to defining your ideal client, and we'll all do this. I'll show you the tools that I use, and you know, we'll run through that and that whole process. Some of you guys probably already looked at this before, certainly around the, I'm going to introduce the StoryBrand framework. That is really helpful. Even if you've touched on it previously, we can then relook at this framework in a bit of detail again, because things change. I mean, I'm surprised when I go into my old frameworks that I did 2 or 3 years ago, things need updating, and you can have a kind of micro audience that you want to focus at, and it's great to go through this StoryBrand framework again. So this framework, which I'm talking about, is going to help you to really craft a really nice, compelling narrative for your LinkedIn profile. And finally, we'll look through some actionable steps that are really going to help you to kind of optimize your LinkedIn profile. So we can do some kind of live audits, looking at other people's profiles, sharing feedback, and it is very much a, you know, you've got to come to this session with a bit of an open mind. You know, want to encourage each other ultimately, but you know, in terms of your LinkedIn profile, how we can optimize it further. And it's nice that we've got so many different industries in the room, because hopefully that's going to help with bouncing ideas from you know, different people. Great if your target market is in the room, because you know, that's like the perfect scenario. If you've got your target audience in the room, they can give you some really good feedback there. So first, let's think about, you know, how we can have this clear niche. You know, we need to have a real focus. All of your marketing efforts for your businesses or business, whatever you're, you know, spending there in terms of a resource to someone else to do it for you, whether you're looking at this for yourself and you're a bit smaller, that's fine. But when we narrow in this focus on who we want to target, it's going to increase the effectiveness of any marketing campaign we do. If we know who we're kind of targeting and we know who we want our message to go to, that's just going to save so much energy, so much outreach potentially. So we want to make sure that every single message is going out, going to the right person. And that's going to help us when we look at defining our audience. That's going to really help us to kind of to speak to that audience with exactly the words that they want to hear. Speak directly concerning their needs and, you know, their specific market, where they're at. When you can speak their lingo and their language, that will obviously help boost the conversion rates. So that's what we're focusing on in this session. So the power of LinkedIn. Let's understand why LinkedIn. Hopefully most of you are on LinkedIn, may have been using the platform for some time, but it's a fantastic platform for generating leads. I've been using the platform probably proactively for around about five years now or more. I've had a profile on LinkedIn for over 15 years, but you know, it just sat there as almost like a digital CV, which is the case for a lot of people out there. But when you think about it in terms of a way of actually marketing your services or products, it's a powerful tool. 700 million users now on the LinkedIn platform. So it is the kind of the go-to platform. If you're trying to connect with professionals, the chances are they're going to have a profile there. So this is not just about job hunting, as I say, you know, it's a place to build concrete relationships. And it's also a nice place for you to establish your authority, and also generate leads off the back of it. So that's the whole process here. We're kind of establishing that authority, building the credibility, the trust, to a point where someone's ready to kind of have a conversation with you, and a kind of just a deeper conversation, not just a happy birthday, but let's actually get into kind of deep conversations with people. So LinkedIn really allows us to be quite specific in terms of who we target. We can actually do searches for industries, different roles, companies, and that's really going to help it make things so much easier for when we want to kind of reach our ideal clients. As I said, it's all about that focus. We've really got to focus in on the search and reach the people that we can make a difference to. Some stats here. Consider these. They're quite impressive. 80% of B2B leads come from LinkedIn. 94% of B2B marketers use LinkedIn. So it's widely used across business. So that's that 94% marketers. That's to do with people, how they distribute their content. They're using LinkedIn to distribute their lead magnets and distribute their knowledge. And these numbers, they kind of just show us the immense potential that LinkedIn has for your business. And when you can start to dive into some of the searches and start to have a look at the different audiences out there, you'll get a real understanding of what the opportunity looks like in your specific niche, in your specific industry. And we can do that today if time allows. So the key here is being active. And we also need to be strategic on LinkedIn. And that's really going to help us to kind of boost your visibility, get you seen by more and more people. And when you start to automate it with tools like the Leadith tool, which I'm trying not to speak too much about because I want to teach you guys the manual methods, and I don't want Leadith to be a barrier to entry for anyone here. So even if you've not got the Leadith toolkit, you can do so much manually. It just takes you a bit longer, that's all. So let's have a look at LinkedIn again in a bit more detail around kind of why it's good for lead generation. So it allows you to target specific industries. So that is just really powerful, because your marketing is not then wasted on industries where it's not relevant. We can also target specific roles, and depending on your audience, you can also even go to target specific companies, or you can see the companies that your competitors are targeting and you can target those. That makes it super easy for you to then reach your ideal clients. And it's a platform where you can showcase your expertise. And we do that through having a content strategy, something that we'll look at, I think, on Wednesday. We might touch on a bit of content on Thursday. We'll have Victor. Victor is my kind of marketing remote intern. He does a lot of my marketing for me. He's kind of very knowledgeable in terms of content strategies and things like that. So I'm excited to bring Victor in on when we look at content. But ultimately, we're looking to engage with prospects, build their trust. And LinkedIn is just the perfect tool for doing that. It just helps you to do it, find those really high quality leads that are going to convert. So we're coming to this kind of challenge bit here. We want you to kind of define your ideal client. Why is this important? Well, it's a crucial step in any kind of lead generation strategy. You've got to know who you're targeting, and we need to make sure our message is tailored, and any offers that we're going to create are really going to resonate with that audience. So once we kind of have a good understanding of what their needs are, what their preferences are, that will help us to create marketing and campaigns that are really going to drive results. And that's the thing, is we want those to be results driven. We'll also touch on ChatGPT. ChatGPT, as you know, is an AI tool. They've just released version 4.0 now, which is the latest rendition. Basically, it's like a superhuman. If you imagine Einstein's IQ at whatever it is, ChatGPT is like 50 Einsteins in a room, which you can just tap into, and it's like, well, it's just a beast. So having that resource and that asset to use, it's free to use it, makes sense to use that in our campaigns in terms of finding out who we're going to finding our target audience. I'm just going to close this screen share now and go back into the room. So we're looking at your target market. We're going to have a look at StoryBrand in a moment. Any questions in terms of kind of where we're at so far? Hopefully it's been quite clear. Feel free to put your hand up if you've got a question, or just pipe up.
Just one slightly more longer term. Alex?
Yeah.
Just that I think I've mentioned in the chat. I'll be missing tomorrow's session. Is there a chance of me being able to complete the course if I need to do that?
Yeah, so all these sessions are going to be recorded. We'll make them available in the school community. We've created a separate course in the school community for the 4-day challenge. So that'll all be made available. So yeah, don't feel you're missing out. And we'll just make it clear. You'll have all the resources there to support and help you.
All right, thank you. So nice to know.
Any further questions at all? Anyone else? No, great. Okay. So we're going to dive into what we call the StoryBrand framework. I'm also going to share a link, so hopefully you can access this as well. Just share again. Sorry, there's lots of shares, and this bit's a bit of a live bit. So in the chat, I'm going to share a link to my StoryBrand. There it is. I think I've still got the book on the shelf, unless I've lent it to someone. See, it seems I've lent it to somebody and I haven't got it back yet. It normally sits on my shelf, but I do like to lend it out to people because it's such a good resource. Camera's just decided that I'm not where I am, so I'm going to just try and reset it. There we go. I'm here. You can't find me. There I am. That's better. You can see me now. So basically, the storyboard framework. Storyboard is a book written by Donald Miller, and it basically is a 7-step framework that helps you to communicate with clarity to your audience. And it's very much looking at your audience with a microscope. You know, you can really tune into what their desires, their passions are, what their pains are. So we're going to run through the StoryBrand framework. Now, if you want to partake in this for your own business, then that is super helpful. So if you've got any questions that come up, maybe we can just look at those and answer those. The BrandScript website, just give us a thumbs up if you can access that. That was in the chat. If you've not previously made an account there, you should be able to sign up for a free account. It looks a little bit like this. So when you first go into it, yours will probably be a little bit blank. It will look a little bit like this one here. And it basically, these are the 7 steps that we're going to go through and just fill out. Put a paragraph for each one. And this will form kind of like the framework, the foundations for any bit of marketing that you're going to do. Say you wanted to create a brand new website. Using this information that we get from this framework, we can then paste this into something like ChatGPT, which we'll show you shortly. And then you can literally ask it a few prompts and it will generate a really effective, a really effective bit of communication. Far better than, I can do myself, which is why I love this tool. It's great. So the framework starts with a character. So this is your ideal client. What do they want is the question here. What do your customers want as it relates to your product or service? So think about your potential customers, and what it is that they actually want. What does that look like? Think about the big picture thing, the kind of the results, be results driven there, and go deeper, go into the whys. Why do they want that? And that will help you to kind of shape that. So for my example, for Leadith, my character is a small business owner or professional coach or consultant who are looking to improve their visibility on LinkedIn, generate a consistent qualified leads repeatedly, That's the key. And they want to start receiving qualified opportunities to do business with people. That's kind of what they want. That's what they want to get out of it. If we go back to the blank one, you'll see the next thing that we move into after the characters. Is everybody okay with the characters? Does everyone get that? Any questions? Yeah, all good. So is the problem, what is that problem that they are facing? So because this is kind of like based around like a movie storyboard script, they use words like a villain, what's the root cause of your customer's problem? And can you personify that root cause as a villain? What is the villain in your customer's story? What does that look like? So for me, for my example with Leadif, I put it down to a lack of understanding clients often have about tech. They're not very tech focused. They don't know what LinkedIn can do, which is where I have to come in and educate them. But they're not really sure about what an effective marketing funnel on LinkedIn looks like. They just don't know what they're doing. They're just randomly putting posts out there with no idea about why they're doing it. So for me, that's kind of their problem. So yeah, think about what that root cause is for them. We then look at what the external factors are. So these are problems that your customers deal with as it relates to your product or service. So what are the kind of external factors? So for my example, the external factors is clients just don't have the time. Often they don't have the skills to kind of create these effective lead generation systems for their business. So that is kind of an external factor. We then have internal factors. How does it make them feel? And this is quite interesting. When you start to get into kind of the feelings and the emotions, that really draws people into conversation, especially on LinkedIn with DMs. So for me, I talk about clients feeling overwhelmed by LinkedIn, constantly having to post to social media and other platforms, having to engage with posts all the time and reach out to new prospects. They just find it a bit of a burden. So we like to kind of address that as a internal issue that they're facing. And then thirdly, there's this philosophical box here. Philosophical is all about, why is it just plain wrong for them to be experiencing these internal and external factors, So for me, I put clients might be losing sleep or experiencing increased levels of anxiety as they worry about, where the new customer might turn up, especially if they're a small business and they're just starting. That's going to be a lot of pressure on them. So work through that character, work through the problem. They're probably two key bits of ones that you want to crack in terms of understanding that audience. And if you're not sure about, what answers you might want to put in here, the beauty is you can actually train ChatGPT up to actually give you some really good answers that you could then populate here, and it might be really, really in line with your business. So I'll give you an example of that. Just open up yet another tab. And I'll share a copy to this this document as well, so you've got the prompts and you can see it. So this is in relation of helping you to define your target audience. I'm just going to share a link to the document, and it will be a link that you can then copy it. So this is a Google document, and just open this up here. Share this tab instead. So it talks about here defining your target audience. And what we've got here is what's the objective? So the objective is we want to understand who we're targeting by defining their demographics, psychographics, and pain points. So if you don't know this, this is kind of really easy way to try and work out how to find out what they're doing. There's a prompt on this document. Okay, I have a service that helps target customers' need. My company is called XYZ, and it's a whatever you want type of business. Please give me the demographics, psychographics, and pain points of the ideal future customer, including the age range, job titles, and any common interests. So what we can do there is copy that prompt, head over to ChatGPT, So ChatGPT, if you just Google ChatGPT, that will take you to a page that looks a little bit like this. You can sign up for this tool for free. I'll show you how it works. If you're kind of new to it, it's fairly easy to get using it. So we'll just click close on that, and we'll go to a new conversation here. We can just choose ChatGPT, and I've got a few extra bits that come up on mine, but yours will be a bit cleaner. This is where we paste the prompt down here, and then the AI will respond to that prompt really appropriately. So any volunteers in terms of giving this a test? Anyone want to shout out? Has anyone got a service maybe that they help someone with their service?
Do you want a hand?
Go on, Alex. Yeah.
So I have a service that helps companies get better value out of their data.
Very cryptic. Okay. We can put the company name in that, just personalize it a little bit more.
That's Euler, OYLR. Yeah, that's right. OYLR.
Sorry, got it the wrong way around. Yeah, and it's so what type of business is it?
So it's data analytics and change management.
And change management. And the beauty of ChatGPT is obviously trained up on all these different areas because it's scouring the internet every day for information. So it's pretty clever. Please give me the demographics, psychographics, and pain points of the ideal future customer, including age ranges, job titles, and common interests. Age ranges is more pertinent to running, if you're going to run Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, where you can choose the demographic age of your prospect. The strategies that we talk about are maybe not so much age specific, but we'll leave that in the prompt just to see what it generates. So once we click send, within a matter of moments, we've got a list of suitable job titles that we need to be targeting. Okay, so does this look kind of right in terms of the types of people that you want to be?
Yep, it's pretty good actually.
Yeah. Okay. So we've then got different industries. So it's identifying, different industry sectors that we could go down. So we could kind of hone in on some of these different industry sectors. Geographic location, primarily based in the UK, with potential expansion to Europe and North America. I'm not sure where it's picked that up, but we'll leave that there. Psychographic. So these are kind of the values that your potential ideal client is going to be focused, and these are innovation, efficiency, data-driven decision making, continuous improvement and growth, transparency and accountability is what they're looking for. They're also looking to embrace change and transformation. So having these values in our mindset, and certainly if you start to put these values into that story brand, that's going to help us to kind of get a message across that should really start to resonate with them. The types of people, this is quite interesting because LinkedIn is constantly developing, and eventually the platform will give us almost like a Myers-Briggs personality type. Certainly there's a lot of softwares out there now that are analyzing LinkedIn profiles, and they're actually telling us, the best approach for this particular person would be XYZ, which is kind of quite remarkable. So these are common personality traits. I don't know if you recognize any of those, Alex, in your existing clients, maybe. I don't know.
Certainly I see some of them.
Yeah. So it gives us a bit of insight into kind of personality traits. Common interests, staying updated with the latest trends. So this is what they're interested in, networking potentially with industry events and conferences and webinars. So obviously showing an interest in the subject matter, and that's the people that you want to be targeted. This is kind of quite exciting here. The pain points. So they're struggling with integrating disparate data sources into a cohesive system, and they're facing issues with data accuracy.
Yeah.
consistency and completeness.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And another pain point is how they're using this data. So difficult, maybe transforming that data into actionable insights. Maybe they've got challenges around demonstrating the return on the investment with these data initiatives.
That's true.
Change management, resistant to change within the organization. There might be a lack of a structured approach to managing change, and also difficulty in aligning stakeholders to get buy-in for new initiatives. So a few things there. There's these pain points go on. There's 7 pain points. So technology and tools. So outdated, insufficient data analytics tools, technologies. Complexity in adopting new data technology platforms. Not having the skill set in terms of data professionals. Need for ongoing training support. Data security and compliance. So they might have concerns over data privacy.
Mm-hmm.
Challenges in ensuring data security across the organization, cost management, high costs associated with implementing, maintaining data analytics solution, and budget constraints impacting the ability to invest in new technologies. So a whole kind of, 7 completely sectioned off pain points there that we can start to utilize in our StoryBrand framework. Okay. So the next thing is to think, how can we generate some ideas for kind of reaching out to this audience? We want to add value to the audience. So step 2 here is brainstorming potentially lead magnet ideas. So these are a list of things that are going to be tailored to that audience now, and just carry on with the next prompt using the information that it's already given you. I mean, if the information ChatGPT has given you has not been quite right, then obviously we need to just work out and tell it, correct it where possible. And there's ways you can do that. You can give feedback, or you can just write another prompt to give it a bit more feedback. And the more feedback you give it, the better it gets, and it just learns even better. It's crazy. So the next question here is, what 5 service-based lead magnet ideas that directly address the needs of my target audience? Consider free consultations, audits, assessments, quotes, or discounted services. So it's thrown in a few ideas, and now it will try and apply those potential lead magnet ideas to that audience. And hopefully you've probably tried some of these in the past. Some might work, some might not work, but it's great for just giving you some ideas. A free data health check audit. Is that anything? Would that be something that you might consider doing?
Yeah, you could do. Yeah, that would work.
Yeah. Complementary change management readiness assessment. So a lot of these are just hyped up terms for those kind of initial start of the funnel sort of things that you would be doing with potential prospects.
Yeah.
A personalized data strategy consultation, again, very much basically a sales call wrapped up, but adding value the way it's kind of spitting it out in terms of the benefits. It's quite clear. A customized data analytics ROI calculator. When we've got one of these that we use in with clients, and also we show it to prospects in terms of making sure they're getting a return on investment. It's a powerful tool to have. So hopefully you can start to see some of the ideas and power of ChatGPT in terms of generating this sort of information, this quality of information. Okay. So switching back to the StoryBrand, that should give you a bit more information in terms of the pain point of your prospects. Hopefully you can then start to populate this StoryBrand. So kind of like the homework for day 1 is get this completed. And then at the start of tomorrow, we're just going to review them, have a look at them. Hopefully a few of you will be willing to kind of share your StoryBrand journey with others, just to kind of refine them and get it even better. If you're not sure about what to put in at a stage, there is a little video where Don Miller will just he does a 2-minute video in terms of spelling this out and trying to help you pre-populate it. But the idea is we want to get this complete as possible. And then once we've got that, we can then use this StoryBrand framework, copy it, and then just paste it into ChatGPT to preload the prompt with with your business. It's basically what you do and how you do it, and why it works, and what the calls to action are. You know, what is the next step for that prospect to take. Once you've kind of documented that, it just becomes a real nice cornerstone foundational piece that you can then just refer to when you're starting to build out other assets, other marketing lead generators and conversations on LinkedIn, which is where this is going to start heading towards. So is everyone clear on that? Any questions at all?
Alex, it's fantastic. For me, it's come at exactly the right time. So yeah, it's something I've really been struggling with. So I'm very grateful for this framework.
Yeah, no, it really will. It really just helps you to be laser focused and kind of hone in on that audience. And often a lot of people just don't know what to say. You know, they'll know the audience, but they've not thought about, you know, what they're going to say, how they're going to say it, what the next step is. But whereas if it's kind of documented, written down, you can literally put together any bit of marketing, any collateral around this, which is fantastic, which is why I like it. It just works. It really does.
I mean, for me, the thing I struggle with is I could do a virtual tour for a gallery. I could do virtual tour for construction, for manufacturing. So, I mean, I think what I've decided to do is go for lighting designers because they illustrate all of the things that I do. You know, in terms of embedded information, it works for construction. It also, quite often, they've got lovely finished projects, so it works for retail and links to web, etc. So I will just go for lighting designers with LinkedIn because it's a matter of choosing for channels, right?
And you'll start to have, you know, you'll start to build up a bit of a case study for that specific niche, and that's where the power really starts to work. Because you've got proven testimonials from that niche specific, so you're very much focused. You can charge more for your services because you haven't got that broad appeal, that broad approach anymore. The beauty of that My Brand Scripts platform is you can just go in and just click plus, add a new one for the specific niche, and just tweak it, which is great. That's kind of pretty much it. So ideally, you know, if you guys can hop in 9 o'clock tomorrow, we'll dive into the brand script. If some of you can kind of share what you've been working on, that'd be really great. That's kind of the homework task. If you can just put aside half an hour or so just to get that bit done, it's going to make your life a lot easier, heck of a lot easier. And certainly when we come to kind of building out the campaigns later on, okay. I'm happy to stick around for another 10 minutes or so. If anybody wants to chat further, ask any questions about what we've covered off today. But yeah, you're free to just get cracking on with this. Great.
Cool. Speak tomorrow.
Thanks, Alex.
Cheers.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm quite
Thanks, Emmanuel.
excited to see what Emmanuel's going to produce here, because I'm curious by, you know, Web3 and crypto and everything. There's a lot of talk about it, but I don't really know much about it. So I'd be interested to see what comes back, because it will be like, yeah, that's me. That's my villain with crypto or whatever. And it'd be interesting to see how you address that and how you overcome those challenges. And I'm excited.
All right. I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Yep. Cheers, Emmanuel.
Cheers. Bye.
Yep. So I'll make this recording available in the school community as well, so people